So the European Court of Human Rights has been condemning Switzerland for supposedly not doing enough to combat climate change. Now, of course, Switzerland only accounts for a very small percent of the emission in the world, but I think this is a very problematic ruling. Not just because it's from an international court that has a very questionable track record, I'll talk about that later, but also because if you look at Switzerland, almost 90% or more of its electricity consumption is actually CO2 neutral. They have hydro, they have nuclear power, so I mean this does not make any sense whatsoever. Also, a problem is that the judges in Strasbourg, they base themselves on the right to family life to rule against Switzerland. There was a group of Swiss senior ladies that had initiated the court case. They did not completely win, but they had a partial win based on this ridiculous interpretation of the right to family life that would have been violated by Switzerland supposedly not doing enough to combat climate change. There's a very senior Belgian lawyer. His name is Professor Mark Bossuit. He has served as president for a long time of the Belgian Constitutional Court. He's also the leading asylum legal expert in Belgium. And he has been criticizing the European Court for Human Rights in Strasbourg for a very long time. And he has, for example, pointed out that Article 3 of this Convention for Human Rights, which bans torture, has also been extensively interpreted by the judges, specifically in asylum cases. And he points at statistics which showed that before 2004, people that tried to allege that their right to not be tortured had been violated, only 30% of them won their case. Since 2004, this is 80%. So that's just, I think, a sign that we have a big problem here. It is demeaning also to human rights to provide ridiculous interpretation of this, and we really have to rethink if we want to allow this court that is also constraining the United Kingdom and others that are trying to stop the migration and asylum chaos. I think we at least need to reform this court, if not abolish it, and replace it with a better system. So I think we have to be open to that. Also important in this case is that Swiss media is very angry about this. Switzerland is generally a country where national sovereignty is being appreciated and considered to be a very important thing. And in particular, the magazine Weltwoche, they were pointing out that this should be a warning for Switzerland not to agree to the what they call Framework Agreement 2.0 with the European Union. Now, what is that? The European Union has been trying for a very long time, 10, 15 years, to convince the Swiss to accept that if there is a dispute between Switzerland and the EU in their relationship, that it would ultimately be the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg, which is another court, not to be conflated with the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg, that it would be that top EU court in Luxembourg that would be the referee. So it's like if you have Manchester United and Manchester City playing against each other, that the referee would be somebody from Man U, which of course does not make any sense whatsoever. So the Swiss have been resisting this, despite the fact that Swiss diplomacy was quite happy to go along with it. And now they're trying again, after a long freeze. The negotiations between the EU and Switzerland have been reopened. So probably what you may see is that the anger in Switzerland against these kind of ridiculous rulings will maybe sharpen the minds of the Swiss to remember that they should be very careful to give too much power to international institutions like this that can easily go out of control.